Well, hey, today we are looking at a Guinness World Record holder. Actually, from one Guinness World Record holder to another. We got two in the house. So LG Gram 16-inch. Supposedly the lightest laptop on earth for this size, 2.62 pounds, 16-inch screen. It's a 16:10 screen ratio, and LG are pretty proud of it. Let's dive in and see what we think. So first of all, 16-inch laptops. There's only a certain number of people who even want a laptop this size. It does feel big. You know, my daily driver is a 13-inch MacBook Pro, and you know, 13, 14-inch, kind of a sweet spot, I think, for most people on the road. They've definitely crammed the bezels down on this bad boy. It feels thin. It is super light. It feels ridiculously light. It feels like it's not all there. Like, there is something wrong with this. They've taken parts out. They've performed some voodoo. I don't know, but it feels ridiculously light. The problem with something that feels this light, it feels cheap. I hate to say it, it's a fingerprint magnet. They rave about this fancy kind of carbon super deluxe material that they've used to make it. It feels like plastic, and it feels really flimsy, really flexible. You might be able to live with that as a trade-off for the fact that it is so thin and light. Personally, for the price, I don't know, I don't like it. If you hold it, there's flex, absolutely, if you twist it. When you open up the screen, there's flex. The screen flexes from corner to corner. If you rest on the outsides of the keyboard, it flexes and clicks the trackpad in the middle. I just don't think a laptop should do that. I would trade off a little bit of extra weight for some more support, a little bit more rigidity, and you know, I just don't like it. So I'm sorry, but it's a thumbs down on build quality from the chassis and the structural integrity of the unit. So let's talk about the screen. It's a 16:10 16-inch. If you're wanting a nice big laptop, you don't have many choices. You'd go 17-inch XPS, but the Dells, they're bulky, they're heavy, they're thick, and I'm not the biggest fan of the XPS 17. You can go check out my review of that. It's a great workhorse. It definitely does the job. Comparing the two, the size trade-off is significant, considering the extra inch didn't actually make the Dell feel that much bigger than the LG. Love the 16:10, love the tall aspect ratio. Same as a MacBook 16:10, different than a Surface. They run 3.2, a little bit taller. Still prefer the 3.2 over everything else for a laptop form factor. Here's the thing with this screen. So first of all, I don't like plastic screens. I like glass. Microsoft can get it right. Apple can get it right. Put some glass on the front of the screen, even if it's not touchscreen, which this is not. It just feels more premium. It feels sturdier. And you don't get that corner flex when you're moving the screen up and down. This sucker's bending. We're going to get you a shot so you can see that. But it's a bendy for sure. I also don't like the brightness. The color reproduction looks great. It's a DCI-P3 93%, so not quite 100%, but almost there. You know, it's got most of the spectrum. I just don't think the brightness is bright enough. I think it should have been better, and I think they could have done better. It's usable, it's workable, you're gonna have it on high most of the time if you're using it for any length of time, and that's gonna affect battery life a little bit. But I like to keep my laptops in kind of half to just over half. I don't know if it's just subconscious, but I feel like I get a longer battery if I do that. On this one, I'm running it higher. It might explain the battery drain, I don't know. But overall, I'm gonna give the screen a thumbs up, but it's kind of a reluctant thumbs up on this one. It is okay, it is usable, I just think it could have been better, and at these kind of price points, mid-teens, $13.99, $15.99, $16.99, depending on how you spec it out, I feel like you're in the realm of premium product. Yes, it's cheaper than a 16-inch MacBook Pro, but you can get them on sale, you can find them in the high teens as well. I'm not sure that I'd choose this over that, you know, given the price, you know, differential for sure. Keyboards. They rave about their expanded keys, a little bit larger. I don't know what to tell you. They look the same size as any of the keys to me, but apparently they're bigger. Spacing feels okay. I commented already on the flex in the chassis. Really don't like it. You will rest on both sides. You will likely see what I see, which is this weird click that happens on the trackpad, especially if you're working with it on your lap, where the chassis has a little bit more room to move. The keyboard feels spongy. It does feel nice, but it doesn't feel firm. Still, my favorite Windows keyboard, HP Spectre 14, solid press. Dell XPS's great keyboards, This one, again, I'm sure it's a trade-off for the weight. Not rigid at all. You're going to have to get used to that sponge. They're saying it's an enhanced amount of travel from 1.5 to 1.6 millimeters. I don't think the 0.1 millimeter was worth it, but whatever. It's a nice touchpad. They do have a numeric keypad down the side of this keyboard. It's funny because in the good old days when laptops were dropping them, I used to hate it because I wanted my numeric keypad. Now I'm so used to not having one. When it's there, I don't like it and I wish it wasn't there. I'd rather have the keyboard centered. You may think differently, that's okay. I'm not going to fall out with you. Hopefully you don't fall out with me. You know, it's a nice keyboard, but it's average at best. Thumbs up for sure. Nothing really wrong with it. I think you'd be fine using it, but I think they could have done better. So anyway, let's talk specs. I got an i7 11th gen processor, 16 gig. You can get it with 256 gig on the SSD, all the way up to a terabyte on the SSD directly from LG. I think Best Buy are stocking this as well. And they're quoting 22-hour battery life. And I'm going to talk about battery and the specs at the same time rather than separately, because this is what I don't understand. These 11th gen chips were supposed to be awesomely power efficient. 80 watt hours of battery in there, 80. That's a big battery. Again, I don't know how they did the weight with a battery that size, but that's a monster. 22 hours in your dreams, LG. I don't know who said 22 hours, but I got nowhere even close to it. Like I said, I've used this on and off for 3 weeks. I have gone all day usage. I have done all day streaming video, presenting, webinars and stuff using it. Maybe 10, maybe 11, nothing even close to 22 hours. My MacBook M1 wipes the floor with this when it comes to battery life. I hate to say it, but it's typical Windows. I mean, you're going to use it, you're going to watch that battery percentage go down on a regular, consistent basis. I don't know how to get that. Maybe if I turn the screen brightness all the way down and I don't do anything at all other than watch a YouTube video, but I'm sorry, if you're looking for a laptop that's going to go daily, and then daily again driver, where you're not having to charge it on such a regular basis, I don't think this is a machine for you. If you can live with 9 or 10 hour battery life on a good day, it puts it in the ballpark of an XPS 15. You know, the 11th gen chip in the HP Spectre 14 also didn't give me great battery life. If I remember correctly from that review, I think we were seeing about 7 to 9 hours on typical usage. Again, maybe 10 or 11 at a push. So it seems as though 10, 11 hours is the max on a reasonable physical battery size you're going to get out of one of these kind of 11th gen Evo, whatever core chips that they want to call them now. So it is Thunderbolt 4. It'll drive 2 4K screens, so much better than a MacBook there. It'll drive an 8K on a single connection. So if you want to go big and go super high res, it can drive it and it'll push it. And it's 100 watt charging on the USB-C. You've got USB-C ports here on the left side, along with a good old HDMI. Love, love, love. Please, everybody, just put HDMI ports on your laptops. Every TV on earth still uses HDMI, and a lot of us display to TVs, especially when we're doing Zooms and webinars all the time. So let's see those ports come back in. On the other side here, we've got USB-A's, 2 of them, and then you've got a micro SD slot. For me, this is probably the best overall balance of ports on a laptop today. So LG, congrats, something that I absolutely love. I love that there's some USB-A's because there's still way too many devices that use it. I love that there's a micro SD card slot on there because I use micro SD all the time. I'm a podcaster as well as a YouTuber. And so I do all my recordings on micro SDs and it's easy just to be able to pop it in and go. I don't have to get a dongle. I don't need an adapter. I love that there's USB-C. I love that it's Thunderbolt 4. I love that there's an HDMI and I love that there's a headphone jack. Apple, can we just copy this? Let's go. Anybody else out there? This is the perfect balance. In 2021, this is what a typical road user needs, so they don't have a bag full. Literally, you want to see the inside of my bag. It's like dongle, adapter, cable, and it takes 5 minutes to find the right one that you want to use when you want to plug it in, assuming somebody didn't borrow it and not give it back. So there you have my little rant, but specs-wise, look, I think it's the latest specs you can get. It's good specs, 16 gig. you know, 11th gen, i7, you're not going to get better, especially in the Windows world. This is as much as you can get, and it's reasonably priced for what you're getting. Thumbs up absolutely on the performance, thumbs up on the way they built it, thumbs up on an 81-hour battery. It's not like they skimped on the size of the battery. I just wish they could have eked a little bit more, you know, general use on a day-to-day basis. This, on a side note, is advertised as having Alexa built in. Never understood it, don't really get it. I'm pretty sure I can put Alexa on any Windows machine I want, but hey, it's already installed. You can play with your Alexa and hook it up with the Alexa at home and have fun and scare the kiddos, dropping in on their Echoes and everything else if you want to. Fingerprint reader in the top right corner, nice touch. You know, it's probably a little bit better than the Windows Hello, and it doesn't bother me at all. It seems to work great. They go on about DTS sound. Don't know what to tell you. It's a laptop. It doesn't sound great. It's a laptop. It sounds how it sounds. So, you know, that's about what I can surmise on LG's 16-inch Gram. So to recap, lightest laptop on earth for a 16-inch? Probably is. Feels light, feels flimsy. Screen's nice, screen's big. I wish it was a little bit brighter. Battery life's average for an 11th gen processor, but at least you can get powerful specs. Love all the ports, and if you need a daily driver at a 15, 16-inch, definitely want to look at it. It's definitely in the ballpark with an XPS 15, MacBook Pro 16, and hey, you know what? 4-pack of Red Bulls actually weighs a little bit more than one of these bad boys, so throw whichever one you want in your bag, and I'll see you next time.